Hey guys, today we have Sachin and he is having 2.8 year of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices. And those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Sachin, how are you?
Hi Faizan, I'm good. What about you?
Yes, I'm also good. Shall we start?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. Can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
Okay, so as you introduced, my name is Sachin, and
Mm-hmm.
I am working as a software engineer, having 2.8 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And my major tech stack is Java, object-oriented programming, collection,
Mm-hmm.
Spring Boot, Spring Data, JPA. And in terms of project, we are working currently. I'm working in a BFSI domain where we are delivering the solution related to banking, like credit card, savings account. Uh, Current account and digital overdraft, etc. And currently, I'm working on a digital overdraft facility, and
Mm-hmm.
I have integrated a lot of APIs in this project and external systems and payment gateways, etc.
Okay, so do you know what are class loaders?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, class loader is a module of JRE, Java Runtime Environment,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps the program in execution. Like
Mm-hmm.
when we start the program, and the class loader just loads the classes at the class path and make it executable at runtime. So there is
Okay.
a type of various type of class loader. The first one is bootstrap class loader, which
Mm-hmm.
just load the classes from the RT jar. And the
Mm-hmm.
second one is extensible class loader. If we have integrated an external jar from our application, then
Mm-hmm.
this class loader will be responsible to loading the class. And third one is system class loader. It will load the class from our application.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is
Okay.
all
Got
about.
it. And have you written any static methods yet?
Yeah.
Can we call non-static instance a variable or any other variable from static methods?
No,
No.
we
Why?
can't call because to call the static method, we don't need to create any object. But to call
Mm-hmm.
the non-static method, we need to create the object of the class. So that is the reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving ahead. What's the use of static method? Why do we use this?
So basically, static method is mainly used for memory management. At
Okay.
for suppose I have a class like students,
Mm-hmm.
and there is 100 students, so we have to
Mm-hmm.
create a object of the student. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a common functionality in 100 students, so we can
Mm-hmm.
make it static. Because if we make it static, then only a particular object or memory is allocated for all the students, not a separate memory will be allocated. So that is
Mm-hmm.
the reason it is mainly used for memory management. It
Mm-hmm.
remains in the memory until and unless our application will shut down.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Uh, why is a string immutable in Java?
So, string is immutable in Java to
Mm-hmm.
get the expected result. See,
Okay.
Java application is a multi-threaded environment, and string
Mm-hmm.
is a normal data type which is widely used in the complete application. So, if
Mm-hmm.
we make it mutable, then in term of multi-threading, we are talking, then multi thread can update the address, or sorry address. It will many thread can update the data
Mm-hmm.
of the string separately. So this will get unexpected result in our program. So that is why it is immutable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, why do we prefer using character array to store passwords instead of string?
Okay. So there is a reason. Like
Mm-hmm.
if we store the password in the string, then the password remain in the SCP, that is string
Mm-hmm.
constant pool, until and unless the it will be flushed out. And
Mm-hmm.
the object which are stored in SCP, they remains in the memory
Mm-hmm.
uh, at the like when the application shuts down, they remains in the memory. But if we store passwords, but there is this is the disadvantage to store the password in string, because if anyone has the access of the
Mm-hmm.
heap, then they can extract the password of the user, and this is the like security concern about when we are talking about
Mm.
the
Yes, yes, yes.
critical applications
Mm.
to expose the passwords of the user.
Okay. Okay, so Sachin, I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, we had launched complete interview preparation material structured step by myself, experts, and MNC's interviewers. And the best part is that now no one need to go anywhere else to prepare interviews. There is a 99% chance that interviewers will ask questions from this material. Okay, so basically it contains 16 PDFs with all possible interview question and answers for Java, Spring Framework, Maven, Git, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data GPA, Kafka, Microservices, Java coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. I have provided the link to get this in below description. And if someone needs this material, plus two real enterprise client projects for reference, plus one-on-one lifetime doubt sessions and referrals to the MNCs, then they should check interview preparation kit. I will provide the link for this as well in the description below. So now moving to our interview. Tell me why was OOPS introduced in Java? Don't tell me the four pillars. Just tell me why was OOP introduced.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so like if we talk about the programming language, then
Mm-hmm.
ops plays a very important role in the term of development.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a scenario where we have to create the object, but without
Mm-hmm.
object oriented programming, it will be very complex to manage the objects.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is the reason uh, Java is object oriented programming.
Okay. And what other benefits?
Hmm, not able to recall the like.
Okay. Okay. Like we can do some structurals. Now format is good after using OOPS in programming languages.
Yeah, with
Security is
yeah,
enhanced.
we can make the code reusable with the help of
Reusable. Yes. Yes. Yes.
we can make the code modular, like
Hmm.
split the code in a single module,
Mm,
split modules. Yeah.
correct. So, Sachin, have you worked with Enum till now in your project?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, what's the purpose of using Enum?
So basically, enum is referring the constant which is used in our applications.
Uh-huh.
And so we if we have a static data which is used throughout the application, so there
Mm-hmm.
is a like one way we have to store that data in a any data type or any objects, and
Mm-hmm.
apart from that we can store it into the constant like enum. So with the help of objects, there is unnecessary
Mm-hmm.
memory is used within the application. So that is the
Okay.
reason enum is introduced in Java.
Okay. 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 So tell me why was Java 8 introduced? Don't tell me the features of Java 8. Features of Java 8. Okay. Just tell me in general why was Java 8 introduced? Why do we require to upgrade from Java 7 to Java 8?
Okay, so
Yeah.
like before Java, we have like normal concepts of programming. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have any the things which increase the development, and
Mm-hmm.
which like before Java's 8, all the codes or all the standard will be followed in the imperative format. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to define each and everything in the
Mm-hmm.
in description. So if we are doing some operation, so we have to write each and everything end to end for achieving that. So, but after Java 8 or in Java 8, we can do the programming in a declarative format. We just want to get the result, no need to get the functionality, how it works behind. So this is the one of the reason. And apart from that, uh, if we talk about there are a lot of exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Normal exception in Java, that is null pointer. So
Mm-hmm.
developers think that this will be handled and for the development, and
Mm-hmm.
so this is one of the reason. And other than that,
Now we can easily
handling,
handle null pointer
yeah,
exceptions.
with the
That's
help of optional, yeah.
mm,
And other than that, working with the date and time. So before
Mm-hmm.
Java 8, we have to write a simple date format, date
Mm-hmm.
time formatter. So we have to create the object and do the mappings. But after in Java 8, we have to use the library for
Okay.
local date time. Yeah.
Okay. So do you know about functional interface introduced in Java 8?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. What
So
was that?
functional interfaces are the interfaces which have only one abstract method.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, we have a lot of functional interfaces which are introduced in Java 8, like consumer, predicate,
Mm-hmm.
function, and by consumer, by predicate. So, they enhance the development. Like if enhance the development and introduce, we can achieve with the help of Lambda function. We can do the implementation of functional interfaces easily with the
Mm-hmm.
help of Lambdas.
Okay.
Lambdas. Yeah.
Can a functional interface extend or implement another interface or class?
Uh, yes, but there is the one rule. Then in functional interfaces, there is only one abstract method. So if
Mm,
that rule is followed, then we can do it.
we can
If
do it.
not, then we can't.
Correct. What's the difference between intermediate and terminal operations in Java 8 streams?
Okay, so intermediate operation just process the input. It don't throw any output or don't return any
Mm-hmm.
output. But terminal operator uh, get the result from the intermediate operation and
Mm-hmm.
returns the output. So if we don't add the terminal operator,
Mm-hmm.
then intermediate operation can't execute.
Mm, correct. What's the use of reduce method in streams?
So with the help of reduce method we can get the single value from the
Mm-hmm.
stream. Like if we
Mm-hmm.
have a list of integer and we want to multiply all the numbers which are present in stream or addition or subtraction,
Mm-hmm.
then we can go with the reduce method in that condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How is lambda expression related to functional interfaces?
Okay, so basically functional interfaces are have only one abstract method which we
Mm-hmm.
discussed. But when we implement lambda
Mm-hmm.
functions are first we have to write the what is the input that this function takes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on the basis of input and what it returns, on both of the combination we have to bind that lambda function in a functional interface. Like for example, if we are talking about consumer takes
Mm-hmm.
only one input, one type of input, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
we have to if we it doesn't return any output, and if we write a lambda function which uh, takes only one input and doesn't return anything, then
Mm-hmm.
we can store that lambda function in a functional interface.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's why
Mm.
lambda function and functional interfaces are related to each other.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So can you tell me what was the enhancement done in Hashmap in Java 8 prior
Okay.
after Java
Yeah,
8?
yeah. So basically, before Java 8, uh, when we store the data into a hash map
Mm-hmm.
and multiple object produce a single hash code, then there is a
Mm-hmm.
condition of collision. And at the same bucket, we have to store the all the elements in a linked list or any other data structure like array. So
Mm-hmm.
in this, there is a problem. So if we have a hundreds object and
Mm-hmm.
100 objects are producing same hash code, then 100 objects are stored in the single bucket. So
Mm-hmm.
if we want to search any element, then it might get result in a big of n time complexity.
Mm-hmm.
So that is not good. So
Mm-hmm.
after Java 8, uh, there is an enhancement like when the threshold or when the linked list is go beyond the size 7 or I think 8, then the
Mm-hmm.
particular linked list will be converted into tree node to convert the big of and to log n. So
Mm.
that is the enhancement in Java 8.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, give me a scenario where we should use only a comparator.
Comparator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we have two objects and we want to do a comparison between two of those two objects, then we go
Mm-hmm.
with the comparator. There is
Okay.
a method in comparator compare. So it
Mm,
accepts two object, and on the basis of comparison, we can return the integer value plus, minus, or zero. Like plus
mm,
basically stands for there is a need of swapping, and minus or zero stands for there is no need to swapping. Elements
mm.
are in a proper order.
Okay, okay. Which collection should you use if you want to avoid duplicates and maintain insertion order?
Okay, maintain the insertion order.
Mm.
Uh, so I go with set, but to maintain the insertion order, tree set or tree set, I will go with.
Tree set,
A
okay. But tree set
linked hash
maintain.
set. A linked hash set.
Okay, yeah, linked hash
Yeah.
set is the correct answer. Yeah, so does tree set allow null values?
No,
Why?
because tree set internally implements sorted set, and it also implements, like, I think, comparator. And if we compare the null value with the actual object, then there might get a chance to get the null
Null
pointer
pointer
exception.
exception.
Yeah.
Mm.
To
Okay.
avoid this, null object can't be stored in tree sets.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in hash code and equals, which method is executed first?
Sorry.
In hash code and equal methods,
Okay.
which method is
Hash
executed
code
first?
will be executed first. So because we have to first generate the hash code, and
Do both methods always execute?
no, because
Why?
first we have to create the hash code, and if and then the modulus of the hash map to get the bucket number.
Mm-hmm.
And on the bucket number, if there is already a element stored, then we have there is a execution of equals method. If that
Mm-hmm.
bucket is empty, the element is stored directly without doing any comparison. So that's why.
Okay. Okay. Uh, can you tell me a scenario that causes a concurrent modification exception?
Okay, so if we go with the normal collections like array list, hash
Mm-hmm.
map, these
Mm-hmm.
are not synchronized and support concurrent
Mm-hmm.
operations. And if we are iterating that collections with the help of iterator, and in iteration, if we remove the particular any element,
Mm-hmm.
and so internally there is a threshold threshold literally stored, which actually compares the actual size or the size which are initially when the
Mm-hmm.
iterator initialize that size. So if both the sizes are equal, then it will go with the execution. If there is any mismatch, then it will throw
Mm-hmm.
concurrent modification, etc.
Okay. What is an identity hash map and weak hash map?
Identity hash map or weak hash map.
Okay. So identity hash map uses double equals for the key comparison,
Okay.
then equals, and it is suitable for identity sensitive information. So it's a kind of hash map. And weak hash map is also a type of hash map. So it's a map whose entries are removed when the key is no longer in ordinary use. It is useful for caching scenarios where memory sensitivity is needed, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just like linked hash map. So these are the categories of hash map. Okay,
Didn't
so
get a
moving
chance
ahead,
to work on like weak hash map. So I
come
will look
again.
into that.
Come.
I'm saying I didn't get a chance to work on weak
Yeah,
hash
yeah.
map. So
Okay,
that.
okay, it's fine. Okay. What's the difference between runnable and callable?
Okay. So in runnable interface, both are a functional interface,
Mm-hmm.
and in runnable interface there is a method run, and
Mm-hmm.
in callable there is a method I think call. I'm not sure about it, but
Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah.
fine. Have you
So
used threads in any of your projects?
so we are not using any type of threading in our project, but I know
Mm.
multi-threading concepts.
Mm. What happens if we start uh method is called, I mean, start method is called more than once on the same thread?
Okay, so I think there is an exception, and
Mm.
the name of the exception is uh, I'm not sure.
Illegal thread state
Illegal,
exception.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
illegal state exception. Yeah.
Mm, correct. So how do you create a runtime custom exception?
Okay. So
Mm.
first we have to create a class which
Mm-hmm.
extends exception class, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, when we have a scenario where we have to stop the execution of the program, at that time
Mm-hmm.
we have to throw the object of that custom exception, object of that exception class, like throw new, suppose I have a user not found exception,
Mm-hmm.
throw
Mm-hmm.
new user not found exception, and
Mm-hmm.
in the braces I have to just to give the like status error proper error message
Mm-hmm.
to get to know the why the this particular request gets failed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving ahead, how do you externalize configurations in your Spring Boot application?
Okay, so in my current project, we are using YAML format,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there is a lot of ways we can, with the help of which we can externalize our configuration. So
Mm.
in what there is a various ways like environment variable, command line
So which one
argument.
would you prefer, YAML or properties?
In YAML, I prefer YAML because there is a proper orientation,
Mm-hmm.
so that we have don't need to write the same
Uh-huh.
variables again and again. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say in our project we have YAML and properties both. So which
Hmm.
one would have more priority?
Application dot properties, because it is initialized by default.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard about Spring Boot 3 updates and changes?
No.
Okay,
As-
so what's the Spring Boot version you guys are using?
We are using, I think, 2.5.
2.5. Okay. Did you get a chance to migrate Spring Boot version from 2 to 3?
No, up till not.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do you know what challenges you guys might face while upgrading this version?
Hmm.
Like, do you know what was there in Spring 2 but not in Spring
I am
3?
not I will not go through the enhancement of the Spring Boot 3, but there is some modification or some challenges we will face. If there is any change in auto configuration, then we have to check the
Hmm.
auto configuration part in Spring Boot 3. And
So
if any
have are you guys using Java X uh, dependency, Java X in your Spring Boot?
no,
No, Java X XML, something like that.
no,
No, no. Okay.
yeah,
So you guys are using Bootstrap YAML. Uh, so what's a file name, YAML file name?
YAML file name is just our application dot YAML name. Suppose I have a
Mm-hmm.
application like Amazon, so
Mm-hmm.
our YAML will be Amazon dot YAML.
Okay.
We can say Amazon hyphen UAT, Amazon dot
Mm-hmm.
hyphen pro dot YAML.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. So how do you connect to a database in a Spring Boot application? Explain as if you are developing a new application.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So first we have to like uh, introduce Spring Data JPA.
Mm-hmm.
If we have to go with Data JPA or
Mm-hmm.
MongoDB or JDBC, first we
Mm-hmm.
have to add the dependency into pom.xml, and it
Mm-hmm.
will auto configure all the required classes at the class path. And
Mm-hmm.
then we have to write the database properties in application dot properties, like username, URL,
Mm-hmm.
password,
Mm-hmm.
and dialect if we are
Mm-hmm.
using any data JP or MongoDB. And
Mm-hmm.
if we start our application will
Mm-hmm.
be able to connect with the database.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference between JPA repository and CRUD repository?
Okay, so repository is the parent of GP repository. Like
Mm-hmm.
CRUD repository implements
Mm-hmm.
a repository interface, and it has
Mm-hmm.
basic uh, operations like
Mm-hmm.
add, delete, update, right? And we talk about JPA. JPA first implement paging and sorting interface, and then paging and sorting
Mm-hmm.
implements CRUD repository. So all the methods which are present in pagination and sorting repository and CRUD repository are there in JP repository.
Mm. Okay. Okay, so how do you connect one microservice to another?
Okay, so there is a lot of ways. Like if we go with synchronous communication, then
Mm-hmm.
we can go with a REST template or Fin
Mm-hmm.
client.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is a scenario we have to do asynchronous communication, then we
Mm-hmm.
can go with the like streaming platform Kafka or
Mm-hmm.
RabbitMQ.
Okay. Mm. Are you using microservice project right now? I mean
In my
architecture
previous project, we
in your
integrated
previous.
microservice services architecture. But
For
yeah, I
now, you are
know
using monolithic.
monolithic. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so which logging tool you guys are using? Logging and
we are
monitoring.
we are using a default logging tool, that is
Logback.
logback. Yeah.
Okay. And how you guys are monitoring?
For monitoring, there is a internal tool for our companies,
Mm-hmm.
and for that tool we are using basically we are hitting the actuator endpoint to get the health of the application,
Mm-hmm.
and monitor setting the alerts. If any services fail, then we got the alert. So this is how we
How can
don't
we secure actuator endpoints?
uh, we if we can go with the Spring security if we have to
Mm-hmm.
like secure the endpoint, and
Mm-hmm.
we can do authentication of the origin of the request with
Mm.
the help of Spring security.
Okay. Okay.
And we can use
Uh,
also method level annotation in the actuator endpoint.
okay.
Yeah.
So what's the status code for successfully deleted?
Successfully created,
Deleted.
deleted.
Mm-hmm.
uh for deletion there is 203 or 4, I'm not sure about it, but
Okay.
201 is for created, and 202 or 3, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so tell me the difference between returning response entity and a custom object.
Okay, so if we return the custom object, so by default status code, which is managed by the Spring Boot itself, will be
Mm-hmm.
thrown,
Mm-hmm.
and there is no headers in that response. All the by
Mm-hmm.
default will be there. And if we return the response entity is the binding of response body, status code, and headers.
Mm.
So we can, if we have to customize the status code on the basis of request processing, so we can
Mm.
go with the response entity.
Okay. Okay, so have you done indexing?
In databases, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so how can we do that?
In Spring Boot, right?
Yes.
So there is an annotation like index, and
Mm-hmm.
we can use that annotation at the
Mm-hmm.
field level to do the
Mm-hmm.
indexing, and in the places we can write the name of the index what we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sachin, will you be able to write code in Stream API?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, please share your screen and open any editor. And the question is, yeah, first, please open.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, you have to write a Java program.
Okay.
You are given a list of integers, okay, and you have to return the sum of odd numbers from the list
Okay.
by using Stream API.
Okay.
Just
So
take
for
any random
filtering
list.
first I am telling the intuition. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
First, I will filter all the record on the basis of with the help of filter method, and
Mm-hmm.
then I will reduce the stream to a single integer with the help of
Mm-hmm.
reduce function.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
This is our list. Not filter. Uh, this will return an optional object of integer. So yeah, 16. We
Mm-hmm.
print the value, then we can use get method. So
Okay.
1, 3, 4, 5, 4, or 9. 9 plus 7, 16.
Okay. So now, if I want some modification, so how would you do sum of squares of odd numbers?
Sum of squares.
Like 1 square plus 3 square plus five
And
square plus.
I will use map after the filter operation. Dot map
Mm-hmm.
uh, x into x. So this will return after squaring. We have to return the sum of all the number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this will work. 84.
Okay. Yes, please, and share your screen.